Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bad for Baseball, the baddest baseball podcast on the internet, presented to you by Betway. I'm your host, Adam Peddle, and today we're continuing with our team profiles and projections. We've got the 8th worst team in baseball, the Pittsburgh Pirates, last year with 76 wins. Hey, Pirates fans, too, I'm talking to you. Very exciting year last year. You got Paul Skenes coming up, looking like a bona fide stud. That was fun. Skenes watch every 5th day. That was awesome to see. I love to see a guy like Paul Skenes come up, compete for the Cy Young, win Rookie of the Year. Great stuff. Oh, excuse me. Honestly, amazing, fun stuff from the Pittsburgh Pirates. However, it only led them to 76 wins. And we got to talk about what parts came in, what parts came out from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Because honestly, I'm about to break it down and react. I've looked at it a little bit here. I don't think a whole lot happened this offseason. Then we'll give our projections at the end. We'll give Betway's over-under line, and we'll see what we'll take right there. So first things first, let's start with what came out and what came in. So what came out over here on the Pirates was actually quite a lot of things. I'm not going to lie to everybody right now. Looking over here at the free agent tracker, Grandal is gone. Chapman signs with Boston. Jalen Beeks is gone. Connor Joe, longtime Pittsburgh Pirate, is over there on San Diego Padres. McCutchen comes back. We love that. Michael A. Taylor gone to the White Sox. Marco Gonzalez, starting pitcher, gone. Rowdy Tellez over to the Seattle Mariners, who they actually chinched out of some money, so I'm not surprised by that at all. And then Brian De La Cruz, who they traded for last year, gone to Atlanta. That's a lot of depth. And that's what the Pittsburgh Pirates have always been. It's just a bunch of depth guys. But that's a lot of guys out. And then the guys coming in, not a whole lot going on over here. Tommy Pham comes in from Kansas City. He signs a free agent contract recently. He's been having a slow decline to his career. Adam Frazier as well, coming over from Kansas City, signed back in January. He's going to be coming off the bench. Andrew Heaney. He's been, again, another slow declining player coming over to play for these Pittsburgh Pirates. He's going in that rotation. Excuse me. Then you got Caleb Ferguson, right-handed pitcher. They signed him again this past January. He had a okay year with the Houston Astros. Tim Meza, he comes over. These are projections, by the way. Tim Meza comes over, and oh boy, he had a bad year. And I can say that from a Blue Jays perspective. He went from the Blue Jays to New York, and it was awful, and they got him. They also, probably their biggest acquisition, in my opinion, this offseason, was they traded for Spencer Horwitz in that whole, like, Toronto sending over Horwitz for Jimenez, and then Horwitz coming over here for a bunch of prospects. That was probably their best addition, in my opinion, this offseason. Horwitz was a solid guy. He had like a mid-700 OPS and showed a lot of potential for the Toronto Blue Jays. He comes over, but he starts off the year with a wrist injury, so that might impact him a bit. But that's all the stuff going out and a lot of stuff coming in that are underwhelming, to say the least. I'll be honest. This wasn't the offseason that I kind of was hoping for these Pittsburgh Pirates, and it's been years like this now where you're not getting the top end talent or even the second tier type of talent, like using Toronto Blue Jays as an example. Like, where's your Anthony Santander signing? Where's that kind of signing? Where's the trade for Jorge Soler, like a big bopper? Where are these kind of moves? And I was looking up too. I wanted to find out, like, the Pirates. Yeah, I know they're a $1 billion organization. It's not like the upper echelons of the team or the lower parts of teams, but the Pirates, they still have a $1.1 billion ownership in Bob Nutting, and they have the 3rd lowest payroll, I believe, in all of baseball. It's kind of sad. Here it is. 4th lowest payroll in all of baseball. That's next to the Miami Marlins, Oakland Athletics, Chicago White Sox, who cut payroll because they sucked, and then you're sandwiched between them and the Tampa Bay Rays that are known to be bad, and you're right there in the thick of it, Pirates. You're becoming one of those non-spender teams. That's kind of sad. And what that does is you're asking for this team to have really good development, scouting, and you're asking a lot for these guys to break out and become guys. And that's kind of where I'm going to land in these projections. Like, I'm going to be looking at the breakout guys because you didn't provide any reinforcements to this team at all, right? Looking at this lineup right here, they could have absolutely used some reinforcements. They go get Tommy Pham, but guys, Tommy Pham ain't him. He ain't him anymore. At 478 plate appearances, he had a negative WAR. He had an OPS of 674, guys. A weighted runs created a plus of 91. That's not. He's okay if he's coming off your bench, maybe as a veteran guy, but not leading off your team, as Fangraphs is projecting right now. Then you have Brian Reynolds. We know Brian Reynolds is good. He actually took a little bit of a step back last year from Brian Reynolds' standpoint. Step back. Still had a 791 OPS. He should be right back and going at it. O'Neal Cruz. I want to bring up O'Neal Cruz. They have him playing center field. I guess he moved over there. I thought he was a shortstop, but that's my ignorance. He hasn't been that guy. Everyone was talking about him being that guy. And yes, he was actually a shortstop, but he also mixed in some center field this year. Yes, he got injured all of 2023, but 2024 in a full season, 146 games, his first full season, he only gives you a 259 batting average and an OPS of 773. Now, I get it. He's 25 years old, and all the stuff looks really good. The Saber metrics, look at that. Hard hit, barrel, exit velocity, all 99th percentile, 97th percentile, 97th percentile. Bat speed, 100. We know this guy throws hard. Arm strength at 100. Averages 99 miles per hour on his arm. That's insane. We know he runs fast, 88th percentile. He had 22 stolen bags. But, the swing and the miss is probably hurting him a lot right here. But he needs to take that next step and be that superstar guy. The other crews in the same division, similar stuff. Great arm speed, great running speed. He started to break out. He got over 60 stolen bases for you last year, and he's a bona fide stud. Cruz needs to be him. You need an offensive guy to give you that sort of power in the middle of the lineup, that presence in the middle of the lineup. And right now, he's not. Hopefully this year can be that year. What can he do if he can take that next step, if Brian Reynolds can bounce back? Now the lineup is looking not great still, because we're going to continue on. You're going to see that there's not much depth and reinforcements here. But at least you can build off that. But you've been trying to build off that for years now. So let's continue on. Andrew McCutchen, DH, batting fourth. He's 38 years old, guys. This ain't it either. I mean, look, I love him being back in Pittsburgh, but fourth? Joey Bart following him, Andy Rodriguez, Nick Gonzalez. Ooh, okay. Joey Bart actually had a pretty decent year in the 282 plate appearance. Yeah, I gotta respect that. But Ke'Bryan Hayes, man, what's happening with Ke'Bryan Hayes? He had a really bad down year last year. He never really became that guy. They signed him. They never really became that bona fide bat. Pretty good defensively, not gonna lie, but never that bona fide bat. And then they traded for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa in the middle of last year. But that's it. Boys and girls, the lineup is very lackluster. And when you look at last year, where they had a 26th in on-base percentage, 23rd in batting average, 27th in OPS, 24th in runs, 25th in home runs, 16th in stolen bases, man, nothing got better with this team. And you're asking for breakouts. And what is that going to do for you, even if you do get a breakout or two? It's not going to be a whole lot. Let's be real. It's not going to change these Pittsburgh Pirates in a major way. Going over to the rotation, yes, I talked about Paul Skenes right off the top. He's going to be your dude. That is your ace. Protect him at all costs. He's your guy. Let's see what he could do after 32 starts this season. Mitch Keller, Jared Jones, Andrew Heaney, and Bailey Falter kind of round out that rotation. They're kind of all on the same tier for me, except probably Jared Jones is a tier above all these guys because he's a young gun, and he showed some promise last year. There was a lot of promise before he ended up getting injured. He only pitched 121 innings pitched. He did get injured. I would like to see what Jared Jones could become. If he jumped up to that next tier of hey, I'm a solid number two. I'm a young gun. I can give you a great chance to win any given day. Okay, now we're talking a little bit right here. You got Paul Skenes, you got Jared Jones, 1, 2. Mitch Keller's a great 4 or 5 guy. Same with Andrew Heaney. He's a 4 or 5 guy. Bailey Falter kind of the same category. But if you could have those elites in the 1, 2, maybe that balances out. Now, their bullpen, I believe, was one of the worst in baseball last season. We're looking over right here. Yeah, and they were 27th in baseball in bullpen ERA. Ooh. David Bednar had a bad year. That was the kind of their rock solid guy for many, many years. Dennis Santana, Colin Holderman. Nothing really jumping off the page for me right here. They went and they got Caleb Ferguson, just depth, and Tim Mays is not really him either. So the bullpen didn't really improve. Again, you're asking for more bounce backs, right? You're asking for bounce backs in the bullpen. You're asking for Jared Jones to step up and Paul Skenes to keep being Paul Skenes, which I think we all can agree, probably going to be Paul Skenes. He's just so gosh darn dominant. And then for this lineup, I guess if you go and Spencer Horwitz can be added to the middle of that lineup, honestly, Spencer Horwitz should be batting effing fourth on this team, then, are they going to be good enough to beat their over-under total? Last year they had 76 wins as a team. Can they beat that? Can they get more than 76 wins? And can they be a factor in this NL Central? Because the NL Central is always weak. You got the Reds. Cubs are trying to make a play at it right now. Brewers are always going to kind of be there. Can they be third? Possibly. Let's give a shout out to Betway right now. Hit your picks and knock it out of the park with Betway. Scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the details section to join the action. Must be 19 years or older to participate. Available in Ontario only. And please play responsibly. The over-under is, I believe, 76.5. Over slightly favorited than the under. Man, maybe it's the division. Maybe it's the Paul Skenes effect. You had Paul Skenes for 2/3 of the season. You were able to do that. But, again, you're asking a lot. That is asking a lot from a guy. Maybe Jared Jones. I do believe in Jared Jones just a little bit. The stuff is pretty good. Maybe Spencer Horwitz comes in and gives you something. Maybe you finally get that bounce back from Cruz. It's time. He's due. A little bit of bounce back from Reynolds, I'm expecting. You're asking for one more win. You're essentially asking for one more win. I'll take the slight over here on the Pirates, but I'm not expecting a whole lot. 77, 78 wins. It's not going to be a phenomenal year. It's going to be this until the management starts ponying up and spending. It's going to be more of the same for these Pirates. But, guys, you let me know in the comments down below. Would you take the over or the under on the Pittsburgh Pirates? And make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Bad for Baseball on our YouTube channel. And, as always, we'll catch you next time.